So you just kind of start on your own. My phone has just been doing like automatic things on its own. But anyway, hello everyone. I'm Jessica. I am making this video to take you guys on a journey of my pregnancy. And thus far, it's been a really wonderful, journey. And one thing I will say is peace of mind, a very important thing, especially when you're pregnant. There have been too many stories. No disrespect to moms that go through certain things when they're pregnant, but I don't like hearing some of these stories sometimes, especially while I'm pregnant. I don't think some women, they tend to share, yes, which is fine. Okay. I feel like it's more so venting. There's nothing wrong with that, but not every woman is going to have the same experience. So, telling a woman about some of the worst experiences you've had during your pregnancy while that woman is pregnant, it can have lasting effects on the woman, where she's going to start thinking that she's going to go through the same thing too. And the reason why I say this is because, sometimes women tend to take on other people's stress. I think it's just, the side of us that is just like the ocean, just so deep. We're deep in thought, we're deep in love, we're deep in affection, we're deep in feeling, we're deep in caring. And so when we, hear something about someone else, we tend to take in a lot of that, because it's kind of like an energy. When someone is like venting about something, it's like an energy that they're taking off themselves and passing on to someone else. And I don't think people tend to realize that there are lasting effects when the other person, the receiving person, is taking on a lot of that. Then they start to actually put themselves into character where they're starting to think that they're going to go through the same thing too. So I feel like a woman that is pregnant should definitely respect her privacy, create boundaries, and have other people respect her privacy as well, because peace of mind is the most important thing that you can have while you're pregnant. You should not be stressing, you shouldn't be arguing, you shouldn't be around people that argue. Okay? You should not be responding to certain, highly stimulating situations, especially if it's not in your control. Okay? You got to learn what's in your control and what's out of your control. Now, if it comes down to you protecting your children, that's in your control. If it comes down to protecting, a stranger, guess what? Tap someone else and be like, hey, this person needs help. Because if it's not in your control, then it's just that's when it becomes in your control, when you're actually asking someone for help. But for you to actually take on a situation that is not something that you should be taking on, that's you putting yourself in a situation that could be very damaging, okay, in the long run. I'm just saying this because, I've heard way too many stories throughout the years, and with my second pregnancy, I made the conscious decision to just not listen, and it worked out very well for me. And I'm not saying advice, because there's usually some really good old wives' tales that are really awesome to hear, and some women have some really amazing stories to share. But when it comes down to the stories of the excruciating pain and how their labor was, and or how long it was, not every woman goes through the same thing. And then there's constant stories about preeclampsia. Okay, preeclampsia is literally high blood pressure during pregnancy. That's exactly what it is. Now, if you know how to maintain your pressure by not stressing, stop responding to things that are out of your control. Okay? Yeah, we might have kids, we might have work, we might have, you know, certain things that may actually call for us to react. Okay? But you have to catch yourself before you react in a way that's going to put you in a position where your heart starts racing super, like fast, and your hands start shaking. Some people don't pay attention to their body when they're under extreme stress. Okay, and that's a very important thing to do because, when a heart attack strikes a person, there were signs before then. They just weren't paying attention. Okay, so it's just, like literally, it could be so much easier if you just relax and enjoy the process. It's such a beautiful process, and be around people that are going to be just as loving and caring as you. Okay, like, they say it takes a village to raise a child, and it actually does, especially when we're talking about, like, I see a midwife. Okay, and so that would be my village. And so it's a village of women that I see that are so comforting, so caring. Okay, and literally they will tell you, don't worry about that, just enjoy the process now. Don't worry about dilation. You're not even close to that. Okay, you're like months ahead. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about labor. You're months ahead. Don't worry about that. Okay, just enjoy the process now. Enjoy the process. Eat what you crave. Love. Speak to your child. Rub your belly. Get some rest. Try to avoid certain things that will definitely put you over the edge. All right, because all these things matter. All right, enjoy this beautiful bonding time with your child. Okay, because a lot of times if you don't, what usually happens is it affects you in the long run. Because postpartum is no joke. It really isn't. It's no joke. It's different for everyone, but it's better if you practice a lot of mindfulness, okay, during pregnancy, and enjoying the process and being present, during your pregnancy, okay? And when I say that, I mean actually enjoying the process every single day, okay? Yes, there's going to be the little aches and pains and some uncomfortable moments, but enjoy the process, all right? While you're training yourself to do that during pregnancy, guess what? After you give birth, you can overcome anything, especially postpartum. It'll affect you differently. It'll hit differently. Okay? It will. I'm on my third baby now. My third baby. So I'm enjoying the process. Absolutely. Okay? I've made a lot of adjustments in my life. Things that I did not even think for a second. Sorry. Things that I did not think for a second that I was capable of doing because I was so busy pleasing the world. Until finally it hit me after a lot of prayer. Okay. I was like, you know what? I have to do this. And I have to do this for myself. Okay. And so I did. I mean, I won't really speak on it, but I did it. And so far, it's been life-changing. Absolutely life-changing. Okay? Know yourself. Know what you're capable of. Love yourself. Okay? And always have some kind of faith. All right? And prayer. Oh my God. Whether you do or you don't, it works. It works. It just works. All right? That's my little message to you. Okay? To all the moms out there. All right? Love yourself. Love your pregnancy. Okay? And be at peace with yourself. All right? And literally Baby's gonna thank you for it. Can you trust me? Baby's gonna thank you for it.